Right, howdy, folks. I'm back. I've been away for a while. I've been uh, pretty much just self-sabotaging myself. Been in like a downward spiral for about, I don't know, 6, maybe 8 weeks. Probably due to sort of like just struggling with my divorce that's going through. Not seeing my kids as much as I'd like, and I could go on and on and on and build up loads and loads of excuses. But really, what it boils down to is I wasn't motivated to do anything, and I've had literally some days where I didn't even get out of bed because my anxiety and my depression was just so severe. Even though I recognise that I need to do all the steps and do the things to help me, I wasn't doing that. I slowly but surely stopped doing all the things that I'm supposed to do, that I should do, like mindfulness and keeping active and make sure I get outdoors and just not overthinking things, and I let it get on top of me. And that's okay. And I'm sure everyone here is in similar or has been in similar situations and understands. And I'm not going to say that I don't have times in my life that I have setbacks, because I absolutely do. And I'm here to say I think that's okay to have setbacks, and I'm not going to beat myself up about it too much. And if you're finding that you have setbacks, if things get on top of you too much, then that's also okay. It's fine. The road to recovery is so very, very long. My road so far has been just over a year. It's just over a year since I tried to take my own life. And I still have days where I think it's not worth it, but I know that it is, and that it's okay to have those thoughts so long as we're not intending on acting on those thoughts. And if we are intending to act on those thoughts, we absolutely must tell someone, anyone, whether it's the neighbor, Jesus, tell your bloody pets, your parents, your friends, your doctor, the Samaritan. The list is endless. There's so many people out there. And don't underestimate the kindness of strangers. Sometimes it's very easy to talk to someone that you don't know, and they won't judge, and they might possibly be the most help that you could ever want to have or get. I've received so much kindness from strangers that it's unreal, and understanding of that. Sometimes I have bad days. Sometimes I have bad weeks. As it's been, I've actually been having a bad couple of months, and that's why I've not been here, not been talking to you, trying to sort of like deal with stuff on my own, which I obviously can't do and don't do very well. So it's a bad move. So that's that. And I've been rambling a little bit today, but something that I wanted to sort of like impress on you guys, and hopefully you can understand, like me personally going down a bit of a sort of like downward spiral, and I've been like comfort eating, and so I've been neglecting myself, but it didn't happen like in one day. It wasn't like, oh, one day I was fine and the next day I was stuffing cream cakes in my face to make myself feel better. I slowly but surely stopped taking the steps that I used to take every day, and they slowly dropped off. So one minute I was hitting the gym 5 times a week, and the next minute I was hitting it twice, and then I was hitting it once, and then I wasn't hitting it. But I was still doing my mindfulness, and I was still eating well, and I was still doing all of that kind of stuff, and I was still seeing my friends. And then I stopped seeing my friends quite as much as I was, stopped socialising as much as I was, and then I stopped eating as well as I was, and then I stopped doing my mindfulness, and slowly but surely, all the steps that I used to take to make myself feel better, and feel good, I just I wasn't doing any of them all of a sudden. And it's taken me a little while to not necessarily pull myself out of that rut, but it's taken me a while to understand that it wasn't an overnight thing that all of a sudden I was feeling a bit depressed again. It was a slow process. And I think for a lot of people, being depressed, it isn't an illness that like one day you wake up and you've got it. It's not like the flu or breaking your leg or anything like that. It's something that happens gradually over a long period of time. Like, so if you're stressed and all of a sudden you're neglecting the things that you used to do, whether it's your job or your family life or whatever it is, maybe your finances are, going through the shitter, and you're trying to cope with it all on your own, and then you're neglecting things like your social life goes, and then and and all of a sudden you seem to be in this position where you're like, oh, hang on a minute, like I'm not enjoying my life, and it's because you're literally not enjoying your life because you've been overwhelmed with all of this stuff. So you've suppressed everything else, you put it all to the side, and all of a sudden you're just like this, like, oh, what's the point? Like, I'm not having any fun. It's all a bit crap. Like, uh, and just try to recognize that it isn't as simple as just like one day I was okay and the next day I was broken, because depression doesn't work like that, and there's no quick fix to it. And if you've had clinical depression like me, the chances of you having setbacks are actually very high. And what you need to do is, or what I believe you need to do, like who am I, is to recognize those traits and then go back to the beginning and realize that this thought process that you're having, it isn't your fault, but there are steps that you can take to make it better. Now, I've rambled on for 7 minutes, which is quite a long time, and I'm hoping you've still managed to keep your attention. I do have a poem that I wrote whilst I was in therapy. I'll share it with you quickly, and I'm really sorry if I just look away from the camera all the time. I know I'm supposed to be sort of like looking at the camera, and I tend to end up just looking at myself anyway, which is really stupid. But this one is actually called Recovery. So I hope you like it. I hope you sort of understand or you get something from it and realise that you're not the only person that's ever thought like bad things or felt sad. Right. So here we go. I've lived in a place where nobody cares, trapped in my mind, a world of despair. Now the real world is where I live. I hope those I've hurt will learn to forgive. The last few years I've been just a shell. The real me has been dreadfully unwell. The road to recovery has really just begun. Had to do it alone because I am the one. I needed support from the ones I adore. They didn't understand and I needed more. I've needed time to get back to myself, but I was pushed away and left on the shelf. I'm stronger now than I've been before. The things I've learned make me want to explore. My future is bright and it will end happily, even if I'm not part of my family. So that was written at a time where I was separated from my family because I was obviously not coping with life very well, and that made my family life very difficult. And as a consequence of me being unwell, I'm actually not. I still have my family, obviously, but I'm not part of the family unit that I once was in that traditional sense. So anyway, I hope that sort of that makes sense. I know it's pretty rambly today. I didn't mean it to be, but realise you're not alone, especially you dudes out there. I want you guys to definitely talk to someone if you're feeling bad or do whatever. So take care of yourselves and yeah, be well.